Happy Saturday, flowing fringe class. Who's on? We're gonna go start, get our fringe on. We're gonna get our fringe on. Totally not even wearing what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my, does not go with me as well, but I just love how this turned out, so I'm totally wearing that today anyway, right? Hey! Hello! Welcome! Hi, April! Hi, Christine! Hi, Sandra Gore, Sandy! Oh, who's gonna get their fringe on with me today? Or just join in the silliness of our class? Well, I guess it's not as silly as like a beading in the bunker, but it is, because it's me. How do I not? Look, I keep going back and forth because I think I'm gonna do things one-handed, and I can't really do one thing. Hi, welcome. We're gonna do some fringe earrings today, right? We got fun little fringe earrings. I just made these not too long ago. Oh, yeah, they're gonna be blurry. I'm gonna show you better when it's flipped over the other way, right? How's everybody's week gone since the last one, since our daisy chain? Anybody finish their daisy chain? Need to post your pictures if you did. I'm working on a few more myself. And today we're going to get back into the seed beads again and do fringe. Now, these little flowing fringe earrings that we designed are, just 3 little beaded tassels. We did this because when we were doing it in our physical shop before this whole shelter place, we wanted something that would be easy enough for everybody to do, so that's why there's just 3. You can actually fit 5 in these cones, so if you want to, and our kits actually had a little bit more, so you can do it. The poster is well, I'm here at Mike's, right? So it's Mike's poster, and it's one of his favorite TV animation back when he was a childhood. They did a remake, and of course it's backwards, but I'll flip it later. You can see. It's Space Battleship Yamato. So it's a Mikey?
Yes. That's
Japanese anime, right?
Yeah,
That's
the original, the American one was called Star Blazers.
Oh, the American one was called Star Blazers, and that's the one he was hooked on. And then they made a movie, so that's what the poster is, because,
And it's back from the 70s.
One from the 70s. Hey, Elizabeth. Hello, Louise. So when we did this, when we designed this, we wanted something a little quicker, so that's why they only have 3 little fringe. You can do 5 in there if you want it to fill it up a little bit more. If you have bigger cones, you could do even more. This technique can work with so many things. Hi, Mary. And it's so good to see so many people. This is so fun. I love these earrings. They're really fun to make. They're really addicting. Very addicting. No, I'm gonna flip the page. We're gonna flip. We're gonna try to mount this without losing you. So far, hopefully you guys heard me, because I'm trying to do this again with my phone inside the case. Therefore, I did it again. Double click. Woo! See, I have my messy table again. Well, we're okay. We can have. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Eric. Welcome. So we are doing. So I did just post our little. If you didn't get a kit, I did post the instructions. It's great that the way we did them is all of these little ones you can make blank. We have it on the back too. So there's 6 different ones that you could do. That you can color your own. Like right before this, I have the skirt that I want to make fringe earrings to go with. So I grabbed, I think these are the countdown of like what I'm going to do for this one. And then what I take my pins and I start, and I sign one of these for each one of this and then color them in. The A is the ones that are at the very top. And then it goes all the way to G. Of course, you can do whatever you want on these fringe. This is just what we did. This is my way of kind of getting that ombre effect by having this little bit of a pattern going, so that I can, it just blends the beads together a little bit more and makes it really cool looking. So that's how I came up with it, but you can put whatever you want on these, of course. But we did on our sheet, and I did put this on the event page and on the Just Bead It Happy Beaders. I think I need to also stick it probably somewhere on our Just Bead It. Hey Stephanie, welcome. Yes, today I'm going to do the green ombre to go with the green crystal crimped. Okay, I got really inspired to make a new set of colorways for our kits to match the crystal crimped bracelets. And I almost got these ones made up, and then I just had to put it away real fast because I was like on a roll. And then I went, oh, I need something to do today to show you, right? So yeah, so those are that's what I'm going to work on today. But this, so then if you do want to take this and print it, and if you bought a kit from us, you would have gotten a printed version. So what I would do, since this is going to be, these are the colors, that I just going to go through the process of how I do it, that I grabbed to go with my skirt. You got to figure out what you want as your top and your bottom. I think I might make wow, I didn't think I was going to do the pink sometimes I go dark to light, and then sometimes I go light to dark, and sometimes I go dark to medium light, back to the dark again, because I like that look a lot. If you see this one here, we actually went dark to light. This one I kind of just blended. This one went dark to light to dark. This was rainbow, so it's just in rainbow order, and it happens to go dark light. And then I've also flipped it the other way and had darks at the bottom, which I think is kind of pretty much what I did with the with these ones. This one's to go with the jet bronze. Crystal crimp. So I did have a little bit of the dark right there, but for the most part it's like light, and I kept the darkest part at the bottom instead of at the top, which I've done on a couple of them. And so that one I made to go with the jet bronze. And then I also did because we have the pastel crystal crimped, and I lost my cones here, so I have to get more cones. And so we did it. And they're so pretty. I love these so much. See, here you can see what you're going to do before you get the cones, right? This is the finish with all its little findings, and then this is to get there. All right. And so you would just take the, go back to this way. So these colors, I would just kind of take my, and flip these in whichever way. I might have to play with this a little more because, I have this, I think I want the blue and the pink at the bottom with the yellow and the gold and the orange and the greens on top. I think that is my method. Now, sometimes when I do it, I find out I like it a little different. So you might find the same thing. But what I would do is I'd take Now I have 2 yellows, so and that one's gonna be a gold, so I do that. And then I would take this one for that, and let's see, a green. I gotta do 2 greens, because I have 2 greens. And then I need a pink for the pink, and a blue for a blue. So I'd have that. Now, what I would, if I was smart, I would snap a picture of this, but I'm using my camera, my phone right now to do this live, so I'm not taking a picture of this, but we're just going to slightly move this over. And then I'm able to kind of go, okay, this is kind of what I want, and this is going to be my dark. So then I can sit and I can make my own little color. So we have you have A through G. So A starts out with 4, and then there's a B snuck in, so I won't color that one. I'll color this one for this one, and I'm coloring really outside the lines because that's what I can do. And then my B is probably so good. Test out your colors and make sure that they are, you can see them different, so that you know which ones they are. B, 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 and that's a C, so I'm going to go to the next B. Let's see, and then I did the orange, so the C right here, and then 1, 2, 3, and then that one right there, and so on and so on. And then I'd have this pretty graph that I could do, because, you know, I could probably just lay it out on the thing, but this is fun. You know, who doesn't like to color? Oh yeah, see, I thought maybe I didn't redo the rose ombre one yet, because I kind of thought this one kind of went with it. And that one's the fairy dance that we have up on there. But I'm hoping to, and then you might just change out the order a little bit to make it look. Although it would be really fun to see if we have colors next time that I'm in Concord. I might see what colors actually go with, or maybe we'll make April, because April's in Concord. April, you're good. You can have the job of finding. Anyway, I'm just going to put my markers away so I don't drop them. And I'm going to put this off to the side for a second. And oh, these are colors that were like, if I didn't like those colors, I would try these colors. So it's always good to have a couple extra colors, because when you start in the tubes, they look one way, and then when you pour them out, it they are just, you know, sometimes they just look a little different. They're not as dense, or sometimes the blending is crazy, like, just to see on this, see how those really blend together up close. You can see the difference. For farther away, they're not as it's harder, but it does give texture to it, so I'm okay with it not being that contrasty. So it kind of depends on which way, you know, what are we, how you want to do it. I do like how this one, and then also I did the same thing. I don't have these samples with me. I should have grabbed them when I was in Concord before I did this. The dragonfly one, these colors really blend right here too. In this picture, you can kind of see it, but when you're doing it, it's not as they're very close to the same colors. It's not as fantastic, but I think it gives it some depth. So first thing, I'm going to move these out of the way, because I'm going to be doing the green ombre one, or what I picked out for the green. Now that was my color way that I'm going to do, and you would get like little, well, it doesn't have that on it because this is from a different kit, but you'll get something like this that has, like, you know, it would actually say color A, color B, color C if you got a kit from us. When you go to pour them out, make sure you're only pouring part of it. Don't pour, because each fringe only takes about 5 beads, so you don't need the whole thing out. If you pour the whole thing out, if you forget which one's A and B, especially if some of the colors match, by having a few left in here with the label, then you're able to go, oh, that one is color H. I thought it was that. Now, once you make one fringe, you have one fringe there, and it's easier to, definitely easier to match up your existing fringe. I say you only worry about the first fringe, and then you match all your fringe to that, and then you won't ever see a boo-boo if you have a boo-boo. Nobody will know if it's a boo-boo if you matched it all, right? So what you need today is 7 colors of if you're doing the little charty, the little fun, right? You're gonna and I'm gonna just leave that right there, I think. And then you want to do you want a thread in this case, because fringe really need thread versus fireline. So if you usually work with fireline, this is like one of the times that I would say the fireline is going to be not be your friend. Fireline makes fringe a little tweaky, and it's not really stiff, but they just kind of I don't know, it just kind of they twist and turn and all sorts of stuff. And so with thread, they lay better. So I usually go with thread on this. So I'm using 1G today. With my green, I'm going to use this kind of tealy green, because there's a little bit of that tealy green in here. I feel like there's a bump in my thing. Oh. So you're going to use a thread. You're going to want a needle. If you bought a kit, there's 4 needles, because sometimes the eyes are a little closed, so we wanted to make sure you had extra. There's 2 sizes. There's a 10 and a 12. I suggest the 10, which is the thicker one, because you still go through it. But I put the 12 in those kits, just in case if it gets a little tight. Oh, thanks, Just Bead It, for doing that. I think that'd be great. Hey, Rainy, thanks for joining. Let's see. I'm sorry. I just realized there's a whole bunch of. Okay. Hello, Ermelinda. It's good to see that you're on here with me. It's nice to see all the people that get there. Sometimes I can see you up in your little faces up at the top, and sometimes but they only allow so many up at the top. So do say hi, and do say just a simple little hi, because it's always nice to see pop your little bubble at the bottom, and I can see it. Awesome, you're listening to the show. Are you making lamp work, Rainy? Oh, so cool. So awesome. It's a good shed day. So you're going to need a needle, a 10 or a 12. I'm going to start out with a 10. You're also going to need so you got your 7 beads, your thread, your needle. I'm using an eye pin as a 2-inch eye pin. You can do a 20. I would say to do a 22 if possible. Sometimes you can't get 22s. You have to get a 21, which is a little thick, or even a 24, and those are a little thin, but sometimes that's what you can get, right? If you don't have eye pins, you can make a simple loop just with some of your wire that you already have. Hey, Deborah, thanks for joining. So you want 2 of these. I have another one somewhere. You're going to want little cones. Now, we know that these ones work with these fringe earrings because we've made a bunch of them. In fact, like I said earlier, our little fringe has 3 little things. You can actually, with this size cone, if you did get a kit from us, there's enough beads to make 5 fringe. So if you want them a little fuller, you can. We just designed it this way so that it'd be a quicker project when we were doing it in the shop, so that everybody can be successful. But when you're working at home, you can take your time and do whatever you need. And then you're also going to want ear hooks, which I lost my silver ear hooks, so I'll put these on and then turn them back off, take them back off later. But you're going to need 2 ear hooks, 2 cones, 2 eye pins. Don't know where my other eye pin, oh, it's already connected, that's why. I'm going to put that right there. And then you will also need something to cut your thread, like a pair of scissors. I'm using my Xuron butters. We call them butters because they cut through things so nicely. So I got my Xurons, but you're also going to need a pair of wire cutters for the eye pin, round nose pliers for the eye pin, and then a pair of chain nose pliers. Probably don't need 2, but if you have 2, it's sometimes helpful. And then awesome. And then we're ready to go. Let's go. Okay, so you can do this one of 2 ways to start. I'm gonna prep my thread first, is what I'm really gonna do. So I'm cutting 2 feet of the thread. Now when I do that, I rarely have my ruler on hand, so I'm just using my mat, and it's okay that the mat's a little longer. It's like 13 inches, and I'm just going across my mat. Oh, when they get this small, it's really hard to pull it off. There we go. Now we're going to get 2 lengths, and then I'm going to cut. Now there's way more in your, if you're worried about it, the 2 feet is actually more than you need for 1. That does allow you to do the 5 little fringes if you want. The other thing is, there's a lot going on in Byron. It's a small little town with hardly anything, and we are in our small little room, but we got lots going on today. I hear someone's doing yard work out there, and so I'm a little distracted. I'm sorry about that. Hey, Jacqueline, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm going to make a nice green ombre fringe. So I'm using the green, the Tilly green. When you are matching your thread, what you're going to probably look for is, you have 2 things you have to consider. Are any of your seed beads transparent like these? Oh, come on. You need to be like the, these ones right here that are clear AB. Or are they really dark? See, I did choose to use the white thread on this because I really wanted to keep those really bright. But you can see a little bit on the bottom here. It's so minor, and you can see it more so because of the fringe. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm sorry. Do you need help, Mike?
I had to get. I don't have the grabber anymore.
Okay. Sorry, honey. Alright. I just had to check. So we got so you do see it a little bit. Now I could actually take a Sharpie and color them because these are the solid jet seed beads, and you won't even notice it. But a lot of times what I do is I match the bottom because this is the only place that the thread shows. So like when I did the rainbows, I did purple thread because it was purple at the bottom. When I did the fairy dance, it's kind of like a purpley pink because it matched better. So you just kind of want to try to match that last one if you're worried about it showing. Or like I said, sometimes you can use Sharpies to just get that little boop on there. So I cut my my 2 feet. And I am going to, before I start with that, we're going to move this around like this. I'm a little thing. We are going to make sure, you want to make sure that this eye of the, and do this for both of them at the same time so that you know you did it. You want to make sure that this eye is closed all the way. Sometimes they aren't. So you should do there's 2 ways to do it. Sometimes you could just take Rhino's pliers and grab it and you know, run it in. But because there's a spring back in the wire, that doesn't always work. So my way is like how I do it when I open and shut jump rings, or like in the simple loops when I grab that top half with my chain nose pliers, see? And I wiggle this back and forth, and I'm kind of going back and forth with the you can also do it with your pliers, whichever's easiest, but you're kind of also pushing it towards each other. You know, the inwards like this while you're going back and forth, and you will feel that little bit just get right up, and you'll feel it. And when you feel it, you know that it's close enough that the thread shouldn't fall through. So do that on both of them, get them all ready, and then we're going to take one end of our I forgot to get wax. I can't find my wax, and I forgot to grab wax. So you can wax your thread if you're already a bead weaver. You can use any of the thread conditioner. The thread conditioner is helpful in making fringe, because when you go back up through the beads again, you don't want to slice through the thread. So the conditioner, whether it's a synthetic silicone or beeswax, whatever material type of wax you have, it will help keep your fibers like together and make the needle kind of skim over it instead of through it. I mean, it still can go through it, but it does help a little bit. So do wax it if you have it. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not going to wax mine today because I don't have them. But you can also use, I know people that use candlesticks because they have candles at home already, or I even know somebody that uses, they have like Burt's Bees because it's beeswax chapstick. They use that. Just use very, very sparingly, because that will get a little grease too much on there too easily, because it's softer. Like the candle works better because it's a harder. You won't put too much on it. So I'm going to just take my thread, and I'm going to tie a knot at the end here. And so we're going to do a little square knot. I'm just got crossed over, pulled through, pull it tight. I'm going to cross over, and it is that whole right over left, left over right thing, but I just kind of knot it because it's just easier. So I'm just crossing over, and I'm going to do a third one because I have a thing, a power of 3, I guess. I don't know, maybe I watched Charm too many times. I like 3. No, I like 3 before that, but that just was funny when I said power of 3. It made me think of that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing a 4th because it's not happening. So I have 3 little knots at the tip, and that's where that is. And I'm going to just get this one ready. And then I'm going to thread my needle. And again, I thread my needle by pulling. I'm right-handed, so I have the thread in my left, and I pull it down. And then I aim my eye in between my fingers and kind of wiggle down, push down and wiggle down, and it goes right through most of the time. So I got there. This is all now ready to go. So I am going to now pour out my beads to get it ready. Now we have A through G, 7 colors. I'm only pouring a tiny bit out of each one. These, I don't have the tube, you know, I have the tubes. You can write on your tubes. You can put a piece of masking tape on your tube with and write the letter on it, so that if these roll away, you can remember which one it is as you're making it. I've also put, you can get those little letters, you know, those little white letters, and put them in your piles, or you can put a little masking tape or a post-it note and put A, B, C. Or you can wing it and try to remember which ones are your order and get your little A, B, C, D going on. And again, I'm only pouring a small amount out, because if I pour too much, well, one, these earrings don't take that much, but if I pour too much, even if I poured the, you know, about the amount that I need, I knock things over. So this, I think Stephanie said it great, where she heard at one of her classes that she took one time, they said only pour out the amount that you want to spill. And I'm with you on that. All it takes is one knee jerk, and my table is going to go down. Okay, so it's off camera because I'm making a very long line this way of all my 7 colors. Okay. So I can take and follow along like 4 A's, 1 B, 1 A, 3 B, and I could like do this as I go, you know, start out with like the 4. Or one thing that I find is helpful is to actually line them up in a row. And because I'm fringe and because I'm very visual, I kind of actually like to put the A, which is the top, I like to go down this way and then for this, so that I can kind of see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to put my 4 A's, and if I had my little scoop, I would use a scoop. I don't know where my, I do have my scoop. I have this little scoop with the tweezers, and I love this because I can, you know, scoop up things, but I can also get these down here. I can help scoop them down. Whew, there's 3. And then, oops, no, I want 1 first. And then I want 1 of these. And I'm just going to make, this is, you know, my triangle works a teeny bit better on this than this scoop, but I don't know where my triangle is either. I need to get more. I know we have them in stock. We didn't sell them out yet. Okay, so then I have my 4 A's, 1 B, 1 A, and this is where they start to look really close to the same color. So that's why lining them up, let's see, where's, first makes it a little bit easier. Let's see. Is that, oh, that doesn't fit on here with this, but maybe it fits. Let's see if I can get this light to be happy on here. Oh, where's my duct tape when I need it? Here, I thought I had everything all together today. And I'm just forgetting. I forgot things. Thanks for being patient with me. Let's see. Does that help? I guess it doesn't. Does it help? Does it help? I don't know if it helps. Oh, well, let's see. I'm going to see if I can get this to kind of give a little more light. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 A's, 1 B, 1 A, 3 B's, 1 C, and this is where it's going to take like I said, the first one is the tedious one because you got to really go, oh, what was the pattern? But then you have a fringe, so you can kind of copy the fringe after. You'll have one done, and then 1 B, then 3 C's, 1 D, 1 C, 3 D's, right, I'm on, yeah, 1 E, 1 D, 3 E's, 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, and 3 G's. Now the reason I have 4 at the top, but everything else has like little sections of 3 and I ending with 3 at the bottom, is because sometimes one of these pops into the cone, and so I want more of the color to show. So that's why I have 4 there. And just so you know. So I am going to, now that I have them, and I'm gonna start stringing them onto my little thread here. So we're gonna start at the top with the A, because that's in fringe you stop at the top and then go down, and then we're gonna go back up. Hi, Robin. So we're gonna go with our 4 A's. Doom doom. 1 B. Maybe. And then once I get a couple on there, I just let it like slide down. I don't push it all the way down until I get more on. And back to 1 A, 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, 3 C's, and just let it slide it a little bit down so that I don't drop it while I'm getting the other ones. 1 D, 1 C, 3 D's. This is in 3D. 1 E, 1 D, 3 E's. And again, just let some of that slide. Oh, I see. Maybe this is not the right spot for this. Maybe that. Well, okay, we're gonna try it without and see if it makes it. No, I can't. I don't know. Woo! That didn't work. Let me know if the shadow's too much for my hand when I go do this. Then I'll take it back off, but it seems like I need a little bit of light. Okay, so we were on, I could do reverse. We were on F, 3 F's. 3 E's. 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, 3 G's, and I'm ending on 3 G's. So, now I'm pulling it all the way up. I'm pretty sure I'm happy with this because I kind of was playing with it earlier. But if you're playing with your own colors, you just kind of like pull it up and go, do I like this? Do I think that's my color? Yeah, I don't like this light anymore. Sorry. I gotta watch my, I have light sensitivities. So hopefully you guys can see it well enough without that. So that is how this one's gonna go. And I think I was toying with putting some lighter colors because the ombre has, the green ombre kit that I'm matching this has some really pale colors. But when I put them on earlier, it really made it super, like, too much light. So I opted to go with this instead. So now that I have my full strand on, I'm going to pull it up so that you can see it a little bit closer here. And we're going to, that last G, we're going to skip that guy. And then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through all of these beads. Seems pretty tedious, and it kind of is, especially when I'm holding it funny. One thing you want to make sure is that you're not splitting that thread that's already in there. So you want to try to, when you're going through these beads, and this is why I like to pull it up, so that if I hold it this way, this is the easiest way for me to do it. If I hold it this way, then what happens is the thread is closer, is like on the floor of the hole of the bead. I don't know if you can kind of really see that. See if we can, if I separate these, you might actually get to see what I mean. See how it's like kind of on the floor? And then that way, when I run my needle through, I can aim kind of in this direction, like I'm going across the roof of the hole, and then I'm less likely to pierce the thread. That's what I like to do. It does take some use to. Yes, Sandra, there is this little sheet right here. I did put it on the events. I did it as a PDF. On the event page, I have it as the JPEGs like I've done in the past, and it's also in the album on the Just Bead It Happy Beaders as a JPEG in the album that I made, and it's also in the files on there. And that's, so if you want a PDF of this, if anybody wants a PDF of this, you can get on, join on our oh yeah, Sandra, we haven't been able to get the PDFs on. The only way I can share files, like a PDF file, is on the group page, because that's the only place to store files. So I do have the PDF there, but the JPEGs, like the photo images of it, I did get it on the event page and on the Happy Beaders, and I forgot to put it on our actual Facebook page, but we'll make sure we get that on there too. I'm going to create an album with our virtual JPEGs of the virtual classes. But yeah, this is available. And so you have, with it, you'll have the instructions like that, and then the back, I also added the color back here, because this is actually where, when it kind of starts, you start doing it down, but and so that you have it on both sides. So you could either copy, like if you made your own here, you can definitely flip over here and go and add it here too if you wanted to, or have options, and then you can print more and make more colors, because it's kind of fun to color in the dots, right? So I'm gonna make this fringe. So to make fringe, you always have to skip that last bead, because that's going to be what stops, as we saw in this one right here, that little last bead, you know. And so we're going to skip one and go all the way up through. So I always like to pop that one down so I don't forget, because if I go through that, all the beads are just going to fall right on off. But I can now go and I can run through. Once I get a couple on, this is, well, it likes to focus on other things behind me, not on what I want it to do. Ha ha ha. I push it down and I I will also kind of do it in this manner sometimes. It's trying to make sure it focuses while I do this is tricky. Trying to make sure I don't split thread and I'm focused and the camera is focused and I'm going through the holes. And I just go through, and it's okay if you only go through a few at a time. Needles only so long. These are slightly longer than a needle. And I'm going to come all the way up. Hope I'm not going too slow or too fast even for people. I know I keep getting, I think today is Joyce is distracted. Did you see my post earlier? I had all these beads out to match different outfits, and I was like, oh, I wanted to do that, and I'm like, nope, gotta clean up. Nope, that doesn't want to go, so I'm going to push it through, and so I can get, sorry for the focusing issues. This is trickier than usual. Oh, good. And then once I pull it through, here's the thing. Right now, see all these like weird loopy-doos? It's okay. Don't worry about them. As long as this part doesn't loop through there, you're good. Hold on to that bead that you skipped. If you hold on to that bead and pull your thread, it just magic and goes all the way up. Now you want it pretty tight, but you don't want it too tight because these seed beads are not exactly the same. You know, they're a little, if you pull it too tight, it's going to be really wonky. So you want a nice little bit of give in that. And then what I do usually is then take and I go take my thread, my needle, and I'm gonna come on, go through the loop. And I like to either go through this loop at least once, but I usually tend to like to go through this twice, and I go through the loop of the eye. Yeah, not too tight. You want to make sure when you're doing this, if you get it too tight, like right now that one's almost too tight because do you see how wonky that one? So I'm just going to kind of pull it down a little bit and then pull it up again, and it'll loosen up. You just want it just enough to make a really pretty, and they will soften. My thread is, if you notice, is, you know, I already kind of went through a lot of this thread, so there's a lot more curl in my thread. So right now some of this little wonkiness is because of the curl. Once the beads are on there, it will start, gravity will do its thing, and it'll start to relax and it'll be straighter. You can also slightly dampen it, and it'll help too. But when you get down to like where it's like that instead of a full one like this, you're going to get a lot more waves in your thread, and so sometimes it's hard to tell if this is not, you know, too loose or too tight. Well, I lost my thread, but I can pick that up later. Another thing that you can do, if you could just wrap around. Ooh, sorry. Oh, this, I didn't realize this one was going to be so tricky to get the focusing. When I wrap around the eye pin, I make a little half hitch knot right here, and I pull, and I go make a little loop, go through the loop, and I pull it like that, and that kind of helps stabilize so that it will stay wherever go. And it's okay if there is some space there, because that's going to go up into the cone. So you don't, as long, you want to make sure that each one has the same space though. If you start out with a space like that, that means I need to make sure all of my other ones are spaced. So now I'm going to do, and I'm ready for my second little fringe. So I either lay them out again or follow this so that I'm matching these, just in case if I boo-booed. Sometimes though, like I said, it's better to lay it out because these are so close to the same color and it's like, what? Remember the first color, A, starts out with 4. I'm going to lay out this one today so that you guys see that. And I might just move this, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to go 4 of the A, 1 B, 1 A, 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, 3 C's. Oh, my things are good. 1 D, 1 C, 3 D's, 1 C. No, sorry. After the 3 D's, I need 1 E. And then 1 D again. 3 E's. E is an elephant. I'm making a curve because I wasn't sure how much this is in our little frame here. So it's starting to go into a curve. But that's how I draw too. I can't make a straight line. 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, boom, 1 G, 1 F, and end with 3. Now, I suggest if you ever do your own colors, if you're not sure about your first one, make the second one next to it. It's crazy how much better they get each time you add one more. Like when you do this, it's like, okay, that's cool. And then you add another one to it, and it's like, oh, that's looking better. And then when you add the third, it's like, oh, I got it. I like it. Sometimes it's so much easier to see, and it doesn't really take that long. It's fun to play with. Yes, Stephanie, that's a great idea too. You can totally, Haley, you could totally lay out each, the 3's at the same, so you can do the same thing. Now, you are a veteran of pulling out your, colors and laying them out, and you probably don't knock them as much as I do. I tend to knock them. That's why I only do one at a time. I think well, on this table is a very wobbly table. See how wobbly, and I'm barely moving it. And so I'm always nervous that I knock them, and I also catch things. But if you have a good space and you're able to do it, doing all 3 of these at the same time, so that you're only like, because it's the same, it works really well. And I'm going to start at the top again. So my 4 A's, my 1 B, my 1 A, 3 B, boom, 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 boom. They are so close, but so different greens. Far away, they look way different, or they would look closer to the, when they're up closer, they're different. And then, where was I? 3 B's. So now I need a C. C. 1 B. I'm starting to be on 1 B. 3 C's. 1D, scoot them down. Or 1D, yeah, 1D, 1 seam, 3 Ds, 1 E, 1 D, 3 E's, whoosh, scoot it down, 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, whoop, that's not, oh, someone got who's troublemaker? Who's the troublemaker? That is oh no, that's that is the F. I was thinking it was the G. Okay, 3 G's, but I think I messed up somewhere. I think I have a rogue bead. Yep, those are all the same. So I need 3 of these, and then 1 of those. Nope, too many. I have 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, and end with 3 G's. I had a rogue bead. All right, now I'm going to take and I'm going to go, I'm going to skip 1 and start going through, go up through all of these. How's everybody doing? Did you go past me? Because I'm going slow. Are you going, or not slow? I'm not really going, I'm just distracted. Having little focusing issues on my camera, so. But that might be a good pace, because then you guys can see it all. Go through as many as you can, and then, you know, I find that it's better to go through a few times, because then you're making sure that you're not catching that thread. If I go down too far like this to do it, I have a tendency to catch my thread. Yes, you are so welcome to add a bead at the top of the cone. Absolutely, Stephanie. Yeah, by you laying out all 3 of them at once, you are ahead of the game. That's for sure, huh? And you could totally add other beads at the bottoms too. It's a fun project to do that. Get through all of these beads. Now, I don't always worry about this being oh, come on, focus, Joyce. I feel like go, Stephanie, go. Ahead of the game with that, because you got you laid out all 3 of them. So that's definitely a way to go. It does help, because it's already, you did the leg work at the same time. So then I'm just making sure that this gets to be about the same tension as the others, the first one, because I don't want them to. Right? And then I'm going to go around through the eye pin. Now that I'm up here, I'm going to go through the eye pin. Whomp. I want to go through the eye. Oh, get this tail out. Don't cut your tail, and I forgot to mention that it'll leave a little bit of tail, because you're going to use this tail later. I forgot to mention that. Go through the loop, and when you go through the loop this time, go, you know, catch that, or we can go through the eye pin, catch the little thread loop to kind of lock that a little bit in place. And then I got, oh, look how pretty those are looking. Very nice. I think this is going to look really pretty with that green ombre. Okay. I'm ready to do my third. Who's ready? Oh no, I didn't pour out enough of these beads. Okay, I gotta go pull out one more, or two more. Two more. Well, pour out a few more. So, again, it is 4 A's. 1 B. 1 A. 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, and I'm just like going from my piles because this is my, you know, third one, so I can do that. Maybe I should have done it because now I forgot where I'm at. Oh, there, 3 C's, bam, bam, bam. 1 D, 1 C, 3 D. It's all in 3D. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, no, sorry, wrong 3D. 1 E, 1 D, 3 E. Yeah, don't drop. E. 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, 3 G. I'm in 4G. No, that's 3G. 3G. And I am going to go now. I'm going to skip that last one, and I'm going to go all the way up. And we're going to go all the way up. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 jump. And I made it all the way up ish. There we go. Oh, sorry, you didn't see that. Make sure when you do this, see that little loop, because I went in between the beads and I pulled the needle through. The other fringe, they like to catch in there. So before you pull everything, make sure they're not inside the little loopies. Hold on to that last little bead at the bottom, pull and slide up. Go through that's a good idea, Stephanie. It's always nice when you make a duplicate, but not a duplicate, like to change it up a little bit. That'd be cute to put like a little crystal on top, or even just some of the seed beads or something fun. Go through that loop. I'm going to go through that loop again. This time I'm going to go through, I'm going through the loop of the eye pin. Now I'm going to go make a loop with the thread and go through the loop of the thread to kind of tack it down a little bit. Boom. Okay, so we got our fringes. Why do they look like yeah. Sometimes they feel like they don't match, and then you like hold them again and you're like, oh, they do match. All right, that is my beautiful greens there. Now to end, I'm just gonna take my tail that I left, boop, 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 and I'm gonna make, oh my gosh, I can't grab it. You have those days where you just can't grab onto things. Ugh. Just want to just pick that up. Okay, I am going to make a square knot. So I'm crossing it over and I'm using my needle to go through because it makes it a little easier sometimes. Whoosh, pull down. And I'm just doing a little square knot-y thing. Cross over. See, if I hold on to that tail and use my needle to go through, it does it automatically and I don't have to lift it up. I just can, don't have to let go because now that I grabbed it, I'm just doing a third one on there. Now, I personally am happy with that. Now, a lot of times I would tell you to make them both, and then and I would tell you to do this now, and then when we go to put the cone on, you would then make the loop, but you want to do them at the same time so that your loops look the same, or not worry about it like I'm going to do right now, because right now I'm okay with however. So I'm going to I have my little knot. If you have a thread burner, go ahead and thread that if you want to like try, because this is nylon. If you also take heat up a lighter and then go up against it, it'll like ball it a little bit. But am going to just cut like that, and I'm okay without any other thing. I have not had these break yet. That being said, you got to pull your knots tight, so make sure you pull those knots tight. And I'm okay with that. The cone's going to cover that little thread. I'm going to make sure that this one sticks up when I put the cone in. You could put a little glue on if you want to. If you have like the E6000 or the Bond 527 or the GS Hypo Cement, those are the glues that we've used in the past for like the pearl knotting or stretchy. You can use those. I am going to now put my cone on. Whoosh. And if you wanted to, you could put a little bead on top, or a big bead, because that would be cool too. Any bead, really. And then we're gonna get our run as pliers and make a loop. Hold on, twist away with the pliers. Grab the wire up and over, down in front. Reposition, cross this underneath. And there we go. We got a little loopy. And then we're gonna snip that off. And then I'm going to push this down and close that. Make sure that's nice and closed. And then I actually like to close these and then open the ones on the ear hooks, but you can also leave that open and do it. But I'm going to put the copper one on because that's what I have, because I don't know what happened to my silver ones I pulled out. I pulled 2 silver. They're hiding on me. Whatever. Okay. Yes, a little dab of glue doesn't hurt. And then you go right through. Grab hold of this. Close it up. Make sure it's flat. And you got there's an earring. There's an earring. It's really cute. It's really happy. It dances. It dances. Woohoo! Fringe are fun. Okay, so how y'all doing out there? I have a couple things I want to talk about. These cones. Like I said, these cones will fit. I know it will for sure fit 5 because I've done a pair of these with 5 fringes. You might be able to get more in. If you are not sure and don't, either you have to buy a bunch of cones and have them on hand if you think that you like to do lots of fringy things, little tassel things, because these are perfect for, I mean, these are earrings here, but you could make really cool necklaces with them. You can make smaller ones and make, or, you know, smaller length and make little tassels to go off of bracelets. I mean, that would be so fun. But in this state, when it is like this, you want to, you could try on your cones to see. So if you're not sure and you know you're going, well, when we're able to go back out in the world again, you can always get them in this and then like try them out. It's so much easier. Or you have to get a variety. It's really hard sometimes to tell what size you need. I have done a couple things. I have, like, if you're trying to order them online, get it to this and then try to get an estimate of what, you know, what the thickness is here, because then a lot of times cones will say what this inner size is. Some of our companies call it like this one, I think is like I want to say it's probably a 5mm ish around there. I can't remember what this, if this one actually has it, but there's a lot of, because of kumihimo and other cord type things, there's all sorts of cones in cord, and they'll do an inner circle diameter and they'll say like 9mm or 7mm, 5mm or something like that. So if you can kind of do, you know, make it up into this thing first, then you can kind of pinch it and kind of go, ooh, what size is that like? And you can kind of go, oh, well, it matches whatever bead it is, right? That's how I do it sometimes. We have these really cool cards, Christine. I'm still figuring out where your card is because I have one for you. And we're going to order some more. There's these little oracle cards that have the sizes, so when we get those back in, I'll let you know, and I'll probably explain and talk about them in another class. But then you can kind of get an idea of like what thing you need, because you don't want it too big. You don't want these so open that it just doesn't fit. But say you don't have cones and you have these really cool earrings, and like, what do you, now I am going to eventually put these on cones because they're going to go match the pastel, but in my stash I have this big whole bead, this rondelle, right? And I actually want to make a pair of these for me because I think this is so cute, because it looks like a cloud over a rainbow. This one, I just got to see if I have a second one of those. But see how that just went right over this larger, so if you have large hole beads, you can put and take the large hole bead. Oh, come on, focus, focus, focus. Or maybe it's focus. Yeah, it is focused. And you just need to make sure that it won't, you can't pull the beads through. Like, it's not large enough for the beads to go through. But look, it's all covered. Hee 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 hee. But this is wobbly, so you need to put something on top. A small, not as small as the sea beads. I'll probably do anything. It could be a metal bead, it could be whatever, but I happen to have these on hand, and I'm a purple girl, so guess what? I put that. So that and so you could just go right in there like that. And then you can make your loop on top. And look how cute that is. So you can get really, really creative if you don't have cones, because sometimes it is hard to find a cone. I've also like coiled wire and made made it to cover. There's a lot of ways to make this work when you don't have access. I'm hoping but all you need to make sure is that whatever you put on, so even say this was not tall enough to cover this part, say it only covered part of it, put a bead cap upside down over it, or put other bead, then put more beads, double up them. I mean, play around with it. There's so many ways to make this work. So Yeah, it looks like to me with the bead, it's so cute, and then it's like, it's happy. It's so happy. This one looks like a little cloud on top of the rainbow. So that's my spiel about things, but cones are pretty too, and they come in all sorts of different decorations. How's everybody doing with theirs? Thanks for hanging in there with me still. Do we want to do another one, or are we happy? Are we happy? Oh, thanks April for popping those on there. Yeah, we're gonna I'll take snap some pictures to add to that. Yeah, and then you can also put like little tiny beads at the bottom. So if you're not part of our Just Bead It Happy Campers, Happy Beaters group yet, please go on our Facebook and go down to our groups and ask to join, and you can see more samples. And what I'm slowly but surely getting more things, like with the technique, like I did the Mother's Love necklace. I did my owl that I posted on there, so you can see how even with this template I'm gonna make some other variations, and I'm gonna pop them up there. Please feel free to, if you get inspired and go, oh, this is my take of the flowing fringe, pop it in the, post it on the group, or pop it in the album on the group, post it on our Facebook page, share it with us. We love seeing how people adapt our patterns to make it their own, because that's the whole point, right? Oh, Stephanie, I bet you those would totally work for these kind of things. I am so glad you're having fun, Elizabeth. I know you wanted to do this one. Thanks, Chris. So I'm I'm still here, so I'm gonna do my next one. I found my other eye pin because it's attached to thread. So I'm gonna just start up my other green one, because like I said, I started to do this and then went, oh, I gotta leave them so that I can do them for my class. Oh, you got your second one going? That's awesome, Stephanie. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this. Yes. The slant. Oh, yay, April, you got the kits on the Etsy. That's exciting. The slanted ladder, that is going to be such a fun class. I love it. It's so versatile. There's so many things you could do with it. I mean, it changes. You could use stone, you can use all sorts of, we're using glass beads on that. I'm wearing, I don't know if you saw, I'm wearing my memory wire one that goes with my dress that I made during one of our drop-ins. This is the memory wire class. That's going to come up the following week, so we'll be getting that. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm so glad that I can't wait. I would love, please, please, please post what you make. I love seeing, I don't care if it's even if it's just one of our kids, and I know I've seen that color already. It just makes me so happy to see them. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of any boo-boos. Like, I know some people with the simple loops didn't want to post their simple loops, but I won't see it. I won't notice it. I'll just be so happy that you did something and that you joined me and you made something with me. So please share. That's part of the reason why I do this. Is one of the biggest things is sharing and being creative with other people. It's a lot of fun. All right, so if I'm going to do another one, I'm going to need more A's. Woo! I want to just make my other one. You guys can chime in, clock in with me, or, you know, or if you're done, thank you for joining me. It's okay, you don't have to stay on the whole time. I'm just gonna keep going because all of a sudden I'm in my beading zone, so I just want to keep going. I don't know about you. When the tea and water hits, though, that might be a different story. Just TMI, I know, TMI. So that's 4 A's, 1 B, and then 1 A, 3 B. Oh no. And watch it. So I tried for 1A, but apparently I got 2. So do careful if you are picking them out of the piles while you're doing it. A lot of times beads either like to jump on or they like to jump ship. And this time this one was trying to join the party, but that's going to make my little tassel too long, so I'm going to pop them off and put the other ones back on. I know it's not the same as in person, but you know, we'll get back to being in person at some point. Right now we are just we're gonna be thankful that we have technology and can do this, because I could still see your little faces. Oh, let's see, what color am I on? 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, 3. Hey, if you have any suggestions of stuff that you've seen before that we've done that you want to, we're going to start putting things on to do Zoom classes. Hey, Luann. And we're going to do more Facebook Live things as we go. You know, until we have other options. That is so true, Catherine. It is not. That is one of the benefits of this, is that you get to watch this as many times as you need to, so you can catch anything you missed or learn. Hi, Luann. Thanks for joining. We're making flowy earrings. I'm making a green one. Little green one today. Don't mind the copper ear hook. I can't find my silver one, so I put the copper on for now. But we're doing that. So we're making little earrings. Let's see, I got my BC 3 C's. So don't forget, you can go onto the event page. We'll have this. I'm going to also try to get this, if April hasn't done it already, I'm going to also put the JPEG of this in an album on our actual Facebook business page. But it is on the JBI Happy Beater, the Just Bead It Happy Beater group, so please join us for that. You know, you can get the file as a PDF, and it does have the 2 sides. You can do it as it'll be a photo image in a JPEG form that you can find. That JPEG form is the only way I can do it on our Facebook page. So if you're looking for that PDF, if you do want a PDF of it, you'll find that in our Just Bead It Happy Beater group. Please join in on that fun. Whoosh, let's get closer there. All right. So I have my eye pin that I tied my thread on. It's 2 feet, remember. I got my 4 A's, 1 B, 1 A, 1 B, no, 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, 3 C's. Now I'm ready for my 1 D. My D is this color. and then 1 C, 3 D's, 1 E, 1 D, 3 E's, 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, and 3 F's. Sorry, it's off of the camera, but that's where my beads are. And before I go back up, I'm going to double check, make sure all my little beads are there. Look, I don't see anybody else that jumped ship. Those all look right. Yay! Yay! Happy dance! Happy dance! Oh, well, you and me both. You can, I mean, I know that you can do it on an iPad also. There's an app for it. And with the Zoom on the laptop, I believe you just go to their website. And I think you can do the meeting. I got to get there more into it, figure it better out. I started looking into it. And I think you can just go on, but you can create an account too. Oh, whoops, Elizabeth. Oh, no, Liz. Did you look? Yeah, you gotta miss that. You gotta skip that last GB, man. They all just go bloop, 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 right off. So, yes. So, before we move up, we want to make sure that we skip that last one and go right. Start going right through all of those. And run through. And I'm not running through all the way. I'm just getting it kind of there. Run through. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. If you do it kind of at an upward angle, they just kind of slide right into place most of the time. And then, of course, it doesn't want to focus, so you can't see what I'm doing. Focus, focus, focus. Not on the beads behind, but on the beads in front. There you go. There you go. Next group. Do, 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 do. Alright, where? Oh no. Where are they? Okay. Almost there, almost there, almost there. I feel you though. It's so easy to accidentally not skip that, right? You think, you just kind of go in a motion and you just go through them. And then you forget to skip that last bead. So I'm going to hold on to that last bead that I skipped just gently. And then pull my thread and voila. But not too tight because we want it to be able to dangle. Right? And then I'm going to go up. And you're going to go through the eye pin. Oh, what's going on here? Is that my tail or is that my... Quonk. Yeah, okay, that was just my tail being silly. Okay, I'm going to go through one more time through the eye pin, and I went through, go through the loop that I just made with the thread, and it kind of, little mini half hitch knot there that will help. Oh, it looks like trouble. There, no, come on. There we go. Nice. Okay. Whoosh. And then we're ready for the next one. So it's 4A, 1B, 1A, 3 B's, 1C, 1B, 3 C's, 1D, 1C, 3 D's. D's are not coming. D's. Oh, those D's do not want to go. All right, 3D, 3 D's. D, 1E, 1D, 3 E's, 1 F, 1 E, 3 F, 1 G, 1 F, 3 G. I'm on 4G network now, not 3. Really bad. Wrong. Okay. There we go. Now we are going to yes, this is a new one, and thanks Just Bead It put it on. Oh my gosh, you should, Stephanie, do shades of blue. That would be really pretty. I think it's so fun. These ones that are just like the same color, just in different shades. It's so fun. But yeah, we do now have the ones that match the crimped, crystal crimps. So the one that matches the pastel rainbow is up there. The green ombre is up there now with proper cones. And the what is it? Jet bronze. Jet bronze is up there now. So we do have 3 new. I'm going to skip that one. And we're going to go up through all of these. And we're almost, we are got one more fringe after this in this 3. I think the one that I'm going to do that goes with my skirt, I'm going to do it with 5, just in case if people haven't tried the 5 because they're not sure if they like this, they would like to do the 5, then you can see what it looks like. And I'll put it right next to the one with 3, so you can kind of see. Through 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Oh, bronze jet. I did have it backwards. Why did I think it was jet bronze? Bronze jet. Bronze jet. Thanks, April. That's what sisters are for. Whoa, whoa. Okay, gotta pull that again. Whoosh. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. I had I'm going through the loop once. Now I'm going to go through a second time, and this time I'm going to go through the thread loop also that I made. Boom. That kind of locks that so I don't accidentally pull it too much. Now I just need to do one more. And I don't have enough beads, so I'm gonna have to pull out some more beads. Let's see, I got my 4 A's, and I need a B's. I need B, 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 B. And let's pour out the, I poured out 5, because that's all you need is 5 for each one. So 1 B, 1 A, 3 B's, 1 C, 1 B, and then I need to get out, I got 2 here, I need to go get 2 more. And then 3 C's, 1, ooh, I'm out of D's too, it looks like, yep. 1 A. Oh, A. 1 D is what I was trying to say. 1 C, 3 D's, 1 E, 1 D, 3 E, 1 F, 1 E, 3 F's, 1 G, 1 F, 3 G's. Am I really out of G's also? Yes, I am. Why, yes, ma'am, you are. Let's get 1 out. Well, get more than 1 out. Okay, 1, 2. I got 2 on here already, so I just need 1 more for my last one. All right. So, got my woohoo thread. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. Catherine, what kind of are you looking for things to like the simple crimped and the slanted bracelet, the beading wire? You're looking at fine, which might not be up on the Etsy yet, but I'm sure April can figure out a way to get that to you. If you are doing simple loops, you'd stick with the 20. The 26 is a little thin. It's only good for a few things. Oh, so I would do the fine soft flex to have a... I don't see my fine soft flex here, or I would show you what it looked like. That's what you're going to probably use. That's what we did in the simply crimped, and also in the slanted ladder. So I think that would be your best bet. Thanks, Just Bead It, for doing that. I'm going to skip 1. Oh, yes. If you are doing the simple loops class, you want to do your 20 gauge for simple loops. 26 would open up too much. 26 is good for doing other kind of wraps that we're going to be doing soon. So I skipped that one, and I'm going back up. One of the Zoom classes that we're thinking of doing coming up is doing some wire weaving, kind of like the intricate stuff that I've been wearing that Mike has made, or I made. And so those you would need the 26 gauge, but the 20 is for simple loops. And I'm just going up through all these beads. Wonk. Get through a few more. Come on, get through. I don't know how this today's today my camera on my phone is wanting to focus, not focus, focus, not focus. So I apologize. I don't think I'm doing anything different other than this type of beadwork I think has a little bit more movement, and that might be why. Go through. Thanks, Stephanie. I can't wait to see what you did. Because I know you added a bead at the top and stuff. That'd be so cool. I like it. Like it, like it, like it. Gotta get this a little closer. Come. Trying to grab hold of this so I can pull it. My working thread or my tail? That looks good. That looks good. All right, so we're gonna loop around. And I'm gonna loop it around one more time. And now I'm going to tie my working thread and my tail together in a square knot. And around. Whoosh. And so I just did several of knots there. And you can what part of the knots? The knots at the top there, or when you're doing or when you're just looping around? Because it really doesn't have to be a good knot if it's under there. But let me, which knot so I know? Is it the one that I did? Is it the tying the top, tying it on? Is it, are you making sure that your eye pin is closed all the way? Because sometimes you think, I've done it where I've tied a good knot, but it slips right through because there's a little space there. If you have a lot of that problem, you might want to take and not use eye pins and use a wire and make the little wrap loops like we did in the dangle earrings. And then that way you can have something that the thread doesn't go. You have to really make sure, like when I'm doing this, I keep moving it so that opening's away. Or is it the knot when you're going through and you're taking the needle through the eye pin and then you go through the loop? Because that's just like this one does not have to be a good knot. The good knots really is the tying this on and the tying this on. So if that's the case, one thing that I do for that, whoa, focus, Joyce. Well, it's not really me, it's the camera, right? See how that goes? Flip. Okay. So one thing that I try to do is with my left hand, and I'll even thread my needle on before I tie it onto this part. But like at this end, when I do this, I hold with my left hand, I hold the tail. And then with the right hand, I hold my needle. I leave the needle on. And And I'm making sure that I'm pulling this away so that I'm away from that opening. Oh, yes. Okay. You know what? That does make sense. So let me start again, and let me do it with a fresh thing so I can, maybe we can do it together, or I could do it and you can see it. So I'm first of all making sure that this thing is totally closed. So see, there's a little bit of gap, so it likes to slip off. So I'm going to just twist back and forth until I feel it hit, and then I don't have to see it like my camera's showing it, but pretty good that it's really close. But it's really hard to see it with a naked eye unless you have better eyesight than I do. And so I make sure when I'm holding this top part and moving this part, I'm pushing them together, and then I'm feeling that tip hit the stem. I'm making a bigger one, but you're not seems. Yeah, okay, so the knot probably, so you might need to make more. So what you could, one thing you could do, are your, sorry, I have like 5 things I want to say, and they all are trying to escape my mouth at the same time, and it doesn't work. I need to say one thing at a time. Okay, first of all, are the beads that is it slipping before you're adding the beads, or once you put the beads on, does it feel like it's slippery? Like it can move, it's going to move back and forth like slippery this way, but if it's pulling away from the tail, if it's loosening up, then that's a different thing. Sometimes when I go to attach these, once I add the beads, if they are heavier, if they're bigger beads, they're heavier than these 11s, and sometimes the weight of it can slip it. So it could just be, that might be part of it. So we gotta go a little bit further with how we're gonna do the knot. The other question, and I'm gonna give you a moment to answer. No, if I can remember what the question was. I had an answer. I had a question. Oh, what thread, Sandra, are you using? Do you know what thread it is? Do you know if it's like, because it's probably thread, is it the beading thread that you did your daisy chain a few years ago? It, does it look like, does it have a label like that 1G, or is it like nothing on the side, it's just thread and just a little tiny little thing in the set core, or is it like cardboard on the either side? I'm gonna wait to find out what thread, because that might be part of it, is the type of thread. So you may choose to, some threads are a little slippery in their knots, and therefore when you tie them, they open up more. They're easier to open. And you can use, you might choose to use glue or burn it into a little ball so it doesn't open up. Going to give you a second and see if you and then I will go over this part. Oh, but I have, so I'm going to just keep going on this. I'm going to cut this one and put the cone on this until I see your reply, because I know there's a delay and I don't want to start going one direction and then find out, oh, I should go in a different direction or something. So I'm just going to do this while I'm waiting. And no worries, because I have this. So I'm just cutting. So for this one, I'm just cutting really close like that and leaving that little bit of an end, because that's going to go. Okay, I think it's type of, yeah, could be the type of thread, because the type of thread can do it. Yeah, if you do that. So the other thing with, okay, so I'm gonna go back. Let's see, and that goes on there. So now, so when so some threads that are a little slippery, when you do that first initial tie, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go, so when you do this first initial tie, start like you're going, you know, do your crossover, go through, pull, crossover, go through, pull. Now you're going to, on the third one, when you cross over and put your tail through, put your tail through twice. Put your tail through twice, like that. See that extra twist that makes? That extra twist helps slippery materials, like this is why I use in stretchy cord, because it's really slippery. That extra twist, when you go to pull it, keeps that knot from wanting to undo. And then I sometimes will do another one on there. And so I'm going put my tail through twice, like that, right? You don't always have to do twice in a row, but that. So that right there, and then just get a good tug. So that should help, you know, some there. The other thing, so then when you go to do the part where's my needle? And that's going to be the same with when you go to do, when you're coming back up the beads. Oh, you know, there's another little thing I should say too, but I'm gonna do this part first. Okay, so then what? So say we got all the beads on the fringe, right, and we came back up, right? Up. When you go through, because this is not going to really work as well, just because I'm not doing I don't have the fringe on there. When you go through the loop, go through once, right? Now go through. Come, focus. Go through again, so you're wrapping all the way around, right? I want you to do a third one, so that this will help your knot. You're gonna go through one more time, and this is when you're gonna do that kind of knot part. But this again, you're gonna want to go through it probably twice to get that extra twist. So I'm going through, making the loop, right? Now I'm going to go through the loop once. Before I pull it, I'm going to go through the loop of thread one more time. And that's going to give an extra twist around that, and that should help secure it. It doesn't, you know, that should really help secure it. If it doesn't, do one more and just go through the loop, go through once and then twice, and I'm coming up through it. Well, I am so excited to see your tassel pendant, because I knew you were going to make one, and so that right there, that extra going through is going to give an extra twist in it, and it's going to keep it from undoing as much as, you know, a little bit more. With the 1G, thread, I don't find as much slipperiness to it, so I can just do the regular with just one time through. But with other threads, I sometimes need it, and I'll do it sometimes with this too. And it also depends on your beads. Like if you're putting more length on it, or you're putting bigger beads in here, the weight of the beads is going to pull away from the eye pin also. Another thing is when you're after you've gone through, you know, you came back up and you're going to go through, if your thread, see how this thread it's caught. See how the thread tends to be kind of more on one side. So if the thread is coming kind of like if you went through it through this way, right, originally before you added the beads and then went back up, the thread tends to be coming from this side, so you want to come from the back so that you have a thread on this side and on this side. If your thread's starting from this side and you go this way, it's going to not even out an anchor as well. So that's another thing. So I hope that answers your questions. Thank you for the questions, because that's part of it. Is like there's so many ways to do this, and there's not one true way, and we can adapt. Yes, and that's okay. And I can't wait to see it. I know that they're going to be pretty, but I think that's might be part of the issue you were having, Sandra, is the fact that they are heavier beads, and so therefore the weight, gravity just makes them want to pull away, so it's hard to keep that tension. You got the right kind of cone or large hole bead for it all to go into. It will work out really well, and it won't be a problem. It made me think of something. What did it make me think of? I don't know. It's gonna come to me. Oh, you don't want to see a weird mat. You want to see pretty beads. Let's put pretty beads in there while I think of. Let's put pretty beads. Put pretty beads. Right. Oh, you could double thread too, you know. It makes it hard to going back down and up like you are doing to reinforce it really helps with the heavier beads, but it does take more time. So if it feels too tedious, you can, instead of doing 2 feet, do 4 feet, and then now you can't take your needle off to undo, so it makes undoing, if you accidentally missed a bead or something, a little bit harder. But if you take and put your needle on the middle of your thread and then even out your ends here, and then tie this to your head pin or eye pin, you know, like, and then you're only having to go through the beads once and twice, but you have 4 threads because you got 2 going down and 2 going back up. So that might help make it go a little faster. Bigger projects like that, if you're making tassel for necklaces that are bigger, you definitely can always do smaller amounts of thread and then add thread. Even on these, you can add thread if you're like, oh, but I cut it. Say I was like, oh, I cut it, but you know, I want to add more tassels. I can add another thread and then put more tassels on. So this is right here. I got my cone on. It's covering my little guys. If you're little, and you can, like I said, you can glue these knots if you want to. Heavier beads, probably more likely to either glue or you singe the ends with a lighter or with a, and you can just singe those ends, and then you put that over them. Twist away with the pliers, up and over with the wire, down in front of the bead, reposition, and then we're going to cut. Does anybody else have any tassel making questions? Because I'm almost done here. I'm going to close that. And then I need to I'll put the other copper ear hook because I got the copper out. At the same time I did the silver, but I only see my coppers. I got the copper out for the one that I'm going to make to match my skirt. Yeah, yes. Well, we love to send. Oh yeah, bigger needle sometimes helps. And voila. Speaking of bigger needles, one of the things I was going to mention was this is a good one for a big eye needle too. All right, we got some pretties. We got some pretties. Woohoo! Got some pretties. Got all the different ways you can do this. Always one. I am excited about this. Okay, so double tap. Oh, hello. Oh, what happened? So, you guys, hey. I can't wait to see what you guys made. I'm glad, Stephanie, I know you got yours done. You posted. That's awesome. Can't wait to see yours, Sandra. Liz and Mary, please, I would love to see your finished product too. I know you guys are doing it. And then I think Catherine, if you're still on. Who else do I know that got kits? I don't know, but or just planning on doing. Oh, Christine, did you get to do? I hope. Oh, I know. You got a kitty. You got a kitty that might like your thread and your needle and your beads. So who knows if you got to do it or not. Hopefully you'll get to do it at some point. Oh, good. And Linda, you got yours too? You got some too? Linda? So excited. Are you on your second one? Or you just started because you're late in the group? I know Luann's going to be doing them soon because you're going to go get some of those pretty kits, aren't you? Because they are pretty. Look at, look how awesome they are. They're just awesome. They're just so great. Oh, here, I'll just wear them on my glasses instead. There we go. See, you know, they don't, if you wear glasses, they can be eyeglass jewelry. No, not this is not. Yep. I can't wait to see what you've done. I can't. And next week we're gonna do slanted letter, and then we have we'll do the memory wire. I'm hoping to. Yeah, I'll just start a new trend. You'll see what does Joyce have on her eyeglasses today. I need to do it on both sides. They could be different, right? Or like double up there. It's just so cool. They're kind of fun though, because look how much they work. Although the little ear wires are starting to go into my, they want to go in my eye, so maybe this is the best thing. There, I gotta hook them the other way. I gotta hook them from underneath. No, I can't. Well, thank you for doing that. Well, Elizabeth, are you a member? Or are you still previewing? I know some people are still on their previewing. They should be able to just, there should be a post spot, or if you click on the album, there's a spot that says add. Should be able to do, but that's okay. You did it on our JBI. I might steal it and pop it over if you don't mind. If anybody wants me to move them over to the Just Bead It Happy Beater group for them, I will do that. Not a problem. It was great beading with you. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. You might see me soon on beading from the bunker, because from my post right before this, I started pulling beads, so I have all these little piles of things to go, and I gotta make fringe earrings to go with my skirt, right? Make some fringing. Not that it's gonna be up here, it's gonna be down here, but you know. Oh, you can use anything for this. Absolutely anything. I mean, this has for a 4mm fire polish, 4mm cubes, size 6 seed beads, and size 8 seed beads, but you can use anything for memory wire. That is the beauty of. Well, Liz, I'm gonna check and make sure, and if you are still if you're a previewing member, I will nudge you to accept. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but you know. Thanks for joining me. Can't wait to see your guys' projects, and awesome. I will do that. Stephanie, I'll move yours over too, and we'll do some more beading soon. Next week, slanted ladder. The week after, memory wire, and who knows what else is in the future. But the bead soup, make sure, like, this is like blocked. You could block them into segments, or you can just make them all sorts of stuff in the bead soup. I love it. Use things, little bits of this and that. If you want to do kind of a pattern like that, like the bracelet where it's like color blocked, you probably want to make sure you have about 3 inches of a bead, but that's about, you know, to be able to really do like full big color blocks like that. But you can make small color blocks too. I'll see you next time. Happy weekend. Happy beaders. Bye.